Today on iPad 365, we look at iMovie and Garageband, the new updates. It's pretty cool. Check it out.
This episode brought to you by GoToMeeting.
Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here. Welcome to iPad 365, the show where we look at an app a day to keep your iPad in play. And it is Friday. Of course, it's about 24 hours after the information soaked in about the brand new iPad and the retinal display and the increased graphics and the more memory. One thing I do have to add to yesterday was I found out that the internal memory was increased, and now this is a very big thing for the iPad. iPad 1 and iPad 2 were both 512 megabytes of RAM. Had to think about that for a second. They bumped it up to 1 gig. So it's 1 gig internal. That doesn't, all that memory is there for is to run processes and do a better job of multitasking. So it doesn't do much storage. The only type of storage it does is whatever you have on the screen. Like for instance, when you use iMovie, it's going to need memory to hold onto those videos while it's doing the processing. That's the only reason why that memory is there, but it's a very important part in the new iPad, and it doesn't change my thoughts on going from iPad 2 to the third generation iPad, as I'm calling it. But it will. It is something for those of you who are into video or audio production, photo production, or anything like that, and need to have a more powerful application. So, anyway, with that said, we're going to take a look at two applications. They updated 3 applications in the iLife series: the iPhoto, the iMovie, and GarageBand. I don't do too much with iPhoto, so I haven't downloaded that application just yet. If anybody wants to do a video review on the iPhoto application, feel free to do so. Send the email to me, an email at ipad365show@gmail.com. If the file is too large, you can use a program like YouSend It, or I do have a Dropbox account that you can send it to, and I can pull the video from there. With that said, let's take a look at the first of the 2 applications we're going to talk about today. The first one is iMovie, and I was having a ton of fun playing, well, actually with both of these applications. It's amazing what you can do on your iPad, and these 2 applications are pretty much show you everything that you can do on your iPad 2, your 2nd generation iPad, as opposed to a 3rd generation. So if it works really well on the 2nd generation, imagine what the 3rd generation is going to do. Holy smokes, Batman. Now, I've been on a little download kick of higher paid apps. I do have the Photoshop app, and I've been playing with that as well. It's just amazing what you can do and how you can justify not having a laptop or a desktop anymore. It's amazing. So anyway, enough about that. Let's get into iMovie, because I've got a nice little trailer to show you that I made off of there. iMovie, if you've ever used iMovie on a Mac before, you'll pretty much be right at home with this version, because it's just basically point, shoot, record, gather, put together, transition, and put out, just like that. So you can actually import videos, or you can create videos on your camera. You can use the front face or the rear face camera. It'll be interesting to see what happens in iPad 3 with the 5 megapixel 1080p 30 frames a second camera. Right now I just have, like I said, the 2nd generation iPad, and the rear face and the front face camera does really well for what it is. So you could do 2 parts. You can either create a full-length movie, or you can create a trailer, which is really cool because they have these predefined trailer scenarios come up. Like for instance, you could put together a trailer for a scary movie, for a fun little movie, a retro movie. I did this one in their pirate trailer movie, which is pretty cool. You can change all the text in there. You can't change the backgrounds on the transitions frames, which is kind of sad, but you know, hey, it's a preformed situation. So it gives you areas where you place video, and you can either record it, or you can pull it from a source and put it in there. You can grab sources, different sources, as long as it loads on your iPad. I mean, if you've got some movie that's going to be like 72 gigs and you only have a 16 gig iPad, you might need to shave down a little bit so you can get it on the iPad. But for the most part, I recorded all the little snippets of video. I recorded that and recorded that. I pretty much went through this trailer in about 10 minutes. The hardest part of this trailer was trying to find content I was going to do to make this trailer. And of course, it's going to be a very basic trailer. You're going to see me walking around my house. You're going to see items in my house. Anyway, with that said and done, we're going to move over to the main part. The main part is just as straightforward. You record video or you can import video. They've got transitions. You can put in lower thirds. You can put in other text. They have text motions. They have a ton of stuff. And they have a very workable, very workable, let me just state, they have a very workable work area. It's amazing what you can do with this program. In fact, when I'm going to South by Southwest, I am going to make a movie using the iMovie iPad app when I get down to South by Southwest, probably of the tech karaoke that happens. So that's going to be a little bit fun. And I'm going to see how quick I can put out a video. If that works, then on Tuesday, I might do my regular Geek Smack show right from the iPad rather than from any other source. And we'll have a little bit of fun with that. We'll see how that works. But right now, that's the iMovie. It's, like I said, it's very straightforward to use. If you've used iMovie on the Mac, you should be able to use iMovie on the iPad. The only limitation that you have is the memory inside the iPad itself. So check it out. It is $4.99, and it is over at the iPad store now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I promised you, here's the trailer that I created. So you see how powerful our iPads can be in our everyday lives. Imagine what happens if you get business done on your iPad and use it for things like meetings. Using it for meetings is just, it's an amazing thing. I use it for meetings all the time, whether I bring an agenda in or I use one of my favorite programs, Citrix and GoToMeeting. GoToMeeting is a great application. You can load it up on your PC, your Mac, your iPad, and you can conduct a meeting from anywhere around the world, where as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection. You basically say, hey Joe, you need to meet, let's call up a GoToMeeting session, and then you can connect up. If you're on the PC or Mac, you'll have what's called HD faces, so I'll be able to see you, you'll be able to see me. We'll see the main desktop, and then presenters can switch desktops, so one person can present while the other person can listen. Pretty cool. The iPad has a functionality of watching only. They can participate through the audio version, but they won't have the HD faces and they won't have the screen. Maybe not just yet, but you know, with this new iPad, maybe that'll all change. Nonetheless, it is a great meeting tool, and it's never failed. I've done 4 years I've talked about GoToMeeting. 4 years I've used GoToMeeting. I've never had a problem with GoToMeeting itself. Don't take my word for it. 30-day free trial. 30-day free trial by going over to GoToMeeting.com. Click the Try It Free Now button, enter in the code PODCAST. PODCAST will get you a 30-day free trial of this great software. So check it out over at GoToMeeting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Garageband application is next, and I'm going to tell you something. I have never had so much fun with an application that I have with Garageband. Even if you don't use it for the recording options, just to be able to pull up a player piano, to be able to pull up a guitar or a set of drums and sit there and play on the drums, because they give you different drum sets. They give you different guitars. They didn't give you different guitar sounds. They give you different keyboards. In fact, right here, they've even got the keyboard here. Hopefully I'm not messing everything up on my green screen, but they got the keyboard here, and I can actually play a polyphony. I mean, I got like I could put like this. You've got other instruments. I mean, we can pull the smart guitar out, and I can play the smart guitar. And I can strum chords just like that, or I can hit this autoplay on, and I can switch it up. Watch this. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a soundtrack behind my show all automatically, and I can choose different autoplay options, and I can even change it to just notes, so I can. And have a lot of fun with that. And that's just the smart guitar. I mean, we've got strings, we've got keyboards, we've got smart bass. The smart strings, I was amazed by the smart strings. Anyway, it's tons of fun, and like I said, I haven't even started recording. The recording options, just like if you used GarageBand inside your Mac, it's got the same functionality. So switching back and forth is going to be amazing. I can't wait to actually be able to start transferring files back and forth in both iMovie and GarageBand to the iMac and get some projects done. So you could start a project. There's even a part where you can actually record your voice, and you can play it on the keyboard, and it'll come back, you know, with the different voices. So you can actually do a lot of different recording. Bring it back to your main Mac and get it into GarageBand there and put all the samples in. So this is great for some interviewers, podcasters, and stuff like that. Get a little microphone and go from there. Just amazing. I could go on and on forever with these two new applications. I'm going to play with them a lot, because these are going to completely change the game of what I do in the audio and video recording area. So I can't wait to see how this works. So the name of the app, of course, is GarageBand. It's also $4.99, and it's in the App Store now. All right, that's the show. I know we went a little bit long these last couple days, but ladies and gentlemen, these are programs that are just, they show you what you can do with your iPad. Now, maybe you're not a music person, maybe you don't create video, and that's okay. There's other programs. If you like to create pictures, you know, you have the iPhoto, which will help you on that. I also downloaded the Photoshop application. Amazing what you can do. I've also got a couple of other applications in the wings that talk about how you can create art. You've seen them. In fact, if you saw the commercials, I believe you saw the Art Rage application. Amazing art application. We got that on iPad 365 in an episode ahead. So anyway, I could go on forever, but what do you like the most about these two applications, GarageBand and iMovie? Let me know. Twitter me over at iPad365, or the show is iPad365show@gmail.com. My name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for watching the show. We'll be back in 24 when I show you another application that'll find you locations. Pretty cool application that uses your brain, and we're going to do that in 24 when it will be another iPad 365. My name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for watching. You guys geek out.
You should follow Graphite on Twitter at GraphiteINC.